I think the saddest reality that you can live in is feeling like you're invisible and feeling like all of the ideas and thoughts and beliefs that you kind of have to suppress. You can only show people this little glimpse of who you are, and you're not comfortable being yourself. And because of this, people don't love you, people don't hate you. It's kind of like you're just existing. You're not ever really present, and all of your interactions reflect this, and you never have unique experiences, you never have cool things that are happening to you, or you never get invited to unique special places. You're not getting invited to the cookout. People don't really care if you're there or not there, and this sounds kind of harsh, but it's true, and I think this is the average existence for most people. They drift through their day-to-day life, and they're just going through the motions. Nothing special is happening to them on any day. It's like every day is literally the same. They walk into the coffee shop in the morning, and even though they've been going there for the last 3 months, the barista doesn't know their name, they don't know their order, they get their coffee, they don't talk to anybody, they're stuck in their head all day, and it's just miserable. But it's like silent, painless, misery, because nothing's really bad. At least they're not hated, but you could also argue that it'd be better to be hated than it would to be just there and vanilla and not elicit any emotion in other people, because at least if you're hated, they know you exist. But I think this is the average reality for most people, and it's sad. It's just like the life has been taken out of their eyes. If you get in the elevator with them, they're not going to say anything to you. They're going to look down at their phone and they're going to scroll through the weather app, because you don't actually have service in the elevator, so it's not like they're texting anybody or doing anything important. But they do not want to talk to you. They don't want to look at you in the eye, because they probably don't even know themselves. It's like, how can they show themselves to the world when they don't know who they are? And again, it's sad. And I think the opposite of this, where you have this magnetic aura about you, you have this energy, you have this life behind your eyes that just draws people to you. It makes people either love you or hate you, but a lot of people do love you, and you elicit strong emotions in other people, and opportunities just end up falling into your lap. Other people want to be around you because you're you. Even if you're not saying anything or doing anything that's miraculous, other people just are drawn to you. They love you and they love your energy. So how do we cultivate this magnetic energy? How do we become the person who, when you walk into the coffee shop, the barista knows you by name, they already have your order ready, and they say good morning, and they ask about your family, and it just feels good. It feels like you're actually alive. You're having real interactions with other people. And when you walk into the club, the bottle girl remembers your name, and she's like, "Hey, Ben, you've been here every weekend for the past 6 weeks." Okay, that part's a joke. You don't listen to me on that. But how do we become a magnet, right? How do we be the person that everybody else loves? And if you look at your life, you can probably think of a handful of people that have this trait. And I think it starts by, they are so much of themselves that it encourages you to be more of yourself. They don't judge you. They're saying how they actually feel. They're getting you out of this like state in your mind where everything is kind of direct. Like, when you make a service worker laugh, like you make the front desk lady at your building laugh, or you make the waiter or the waitress laugh, and it's like you got them out of employee mode. You got them out of this normal state that they're usually in, and you can just see the life come alive in their face. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're actually having a positive impact on other people. And I think this starts because you're actually present. You're actually where you are, and you're not in your head just like suppressing all of the things that you want to say. Maybe you make a comment to somebody that might come out of left field, or you say something that might be uncomfortable that everybody else is thinking, but you're the person who actually has the balls to say it. This is commonly what I see in the people who I would consider magnets in my own life. I think the first step to kind of cultivating this in yourself is becoming more of who you are and understanding more of who you are. And that begins by keeping the promises that you make to yourself and not letting yourself suppress you when there's something that you want to do or say. So if there's new hobbies or a business or anything that you want to learn about, and you're just like putting it off and you're not letting yourself fully immerse into that thing, then it's a big part of you that you're suppressing, and that's going to show up in your day-to-day interactions. Because if you can't be you when you're completely alone and you don't even know who you are or what you want, how are you going to be you when you're around other people? So a friend of mine recently told me that I seem more confident. I seem to have this aura about me that I used to not have, and just the way I walk is even different. The way that I interact with other people is different, and how I carry myself, and there's just this different energy about me that they used to not see previously. I'm not trying to sit here and say like, oh, I'm the most magnetic person on earth, or I have a crazy aura, but I definitely have noticed that people recently perceive me way better than they used to, especially like if I go back to 2 years ago, there were a lot of things that I wanted to do with my life that I wasn't doing. And I was like silently in misery in my own mind. Like when you have all these things that you want to do, but you're not acting on any of them, it's gonna make you miserable internally. And when you're miserable internally, you're gonna carry that into your life. So about 1.5 years ago, I just moved to Miami, and I had become a shell of myself. I had good friends, I was running my business, but I wasn't really doing anything that I was just doing because I wanted to. Like everything that I did, I was like an extension of my friend group. I was never gonna be the person that's like driving to the dinner spot or coming up with a new idea or something else that we should go and try. I was just like along for the ride in this car with all of my friends, and I was never at the driver's seat. And again, quietly, this made me not really like myself. It felt like I wasn't really living. I was just this extension of the group, and the group was gonna be there with or without me, and I was kind of just invisible. So eventually I realized this, and I was like, I need to fucking take control of my life here. I need to remember who Ben is. I've naturally always been really curious and thoughtful, and I'm constantly learning new things and trying new things, and I have my own interests and hobbies, and I'm just constantly developing, and I had stopped all of that. So I reached this point where I was like, I need to grab the fucking reins in my own life, and I need to make this my own life again. I need to feel like I am me. So I did that, and I started to be more expressive. I started to not just listen to what my friends tell me to do or listen to what I see on the internet. And that's when I started to get my power back. That's when I started to like kind of get my swag back too. You know, I started to spend more quality time alone. This is something that I talk about frequently, where you're just like, you know, when you're alone, but you're not really alone. Like you're scrolling through your phone, or you're in your head thinking about something stupid that doesn't even matter, or you're watching TV, or you're just preoccupied and your mind isn't really there. That's poor quality time alone. But sometimes you just need to spend better time with yourself. You need to date yourself and get to know yourself, and sit there and audit your beliefs, audit the way that you've been living recently, and think about, okay, is this actually in alignment with the reality that I want to build, with the life that I want to live, and the person that I want to become? So I started to do this more. I was taking longer walks and just like pondering about who I wanted to be, and I had my time in the morning where I would go to the gym, and like some of those times where you're just alone and you're fucking vibing with yourself. You can be at your desk or at a workout, or you're just in the shower listening to music. Like all of this starts to become fun when you are just actually present with yourself. And when you combine this with like auditing your beliefs and auditing the way that you've been living recently, then you're able to see like, okay, in this area of my life, I'm completely being a shell of myself, and I'm not doing this thing that I want to do. So I need to go and do that. I need to make this promise to myself and then go uphold that promise. And then that's gonna make you feel better about yourself. And that's how you just start to have this renewed energy for life, and this renewed passion, this like vigor in the way that you interact with the world, because you're no longer just like letting the waves go by and you're just drifting with the ocean. You're on your board and you're cutting through the waves. I guess there could be a better analogy there, but that's what I got for you. So with this renewed energy, it's easy to then go and take that into your day-to-day interactions. It becomes easier to say the things that you want to say and actually develop real relationships with other people, because you have a better relationship with yourself, and then you're more comfortable saying what's actually on your mind. And the first place that I started to notice this show up in my life was actually in my day-to-day interactions with like service workers and different people around my building and restaurants that I frequent. So for example, there are 2 people that work in the front desk of my building that absolutely love me, and I love them. One of the women who works at the front desk of my building, she's honestly kind of bitchy to everybody else, but she loves me. And one time she gave me a mango, and I was like, that's fucking sick. Like nobody else is getting mangoes out here. And then there's this other dude who's just the absolute homie, and every time I see him, I'm just like, what's up, my boy? Like I'll have a quick little conversation with him, and I'll get him out of this like employee mode where he's just sitting there and watching people walk in and out of the building. I know this sounds like kind of a silly, small example, but I'm telling you, that's where it starts to show up. It's the same with the restaurant that I go to every day. Everybody loves me there, and when I walk in and there's like a long line out the door, they'll come get me and bring the card reader to me so that I can just go sit down and skip the line, and I'm like, that's the coolest shit ever. And it's just because of my energy. It's just because I have become the person that I always wanted to be, and I bring that into my life, and it rubs off on other people. When you are more you, other people are more comfortable being themselves. I first noticed this trait in one of my friends named Grant, and he's just the absolute homie. And anytime I'm around him, I'm more comfortable being myself because I know that he's like not gonna judge me if I say something stupid. He'll say plenty of stupid things and make a fool out of himself. And he's just carefree, and he has this energy where when we go out together, he's gonna go and talk to everybody there. He's gonna make small talk in the elevator that's gonna have everybody cracking up. He is just fully 100% himself at all times because he is present, because he's comfortable with who he is, because he's kept the promises that he's made to himself, and he's become the person that he always wanted to be. Again, so this is something that I'm still learning every single day, but I think it all starts by identifying who you want to be and where you're not living in alignment with that. So then you can go and kind of develop a plan and develop habits that will help you be more you. That rubs off on all of your interactions, and then you're no longer the person who's just drifting through life in quiet misery, because that fucking sucks. And you probably heard the quote that most men lead lives of quiet desperation, and I think it's fucking true, bro. And that's painful. Again, that's worse than being hated because nobody even knows you exist. Nobody even cares if you're there or not. Show up for yourself and you will show up for the world, and you'll become somebody that everybody else loves and wants to be around, and you'll just have this aura about you, this magnetism about you that makes you stand out. You'll bring this aliveness and rawness into every interaction that you have, and that's how you become authentic. And this is how you develop into the best version of yourself, and you're able to experience everything that life has to offer. Anyway, I'm done rambling. Thanks for watching this one. I love you guys. Like, subscribe, comment, share this with a friend, and go to the description and subscribe to the newsletter in the description there, because I'll send you some fire emails about how to make money as a copywriter, and you'll love me forever. And okay, bye. Love you.